All right, we continue this afternoon on Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Scott. My next guest is Shirley Gambero. She's a designer, a dressmaker, and a sewing instructor. You're a busy lady.
Busy lady,
yeah.
definitely.
But they all kind of go together. They all kind of tie together, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I have a sewing school, and we teach children, teens, and adults. And we start them as young as 6 years old, start with simple projects. And our adults pretty much choose the project they want to work on, and we go from there.
Yeah. I would think sewing is a kind of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is. Sewing is no longer a necessity. People were taught to sew out of necessity.
In the old days, on the farm.
Exactly. But now it's actually a hobby. So there's a lot of quilters, and people are home decorating and just doing lots of fun craft-type projects with their sewing.
So when did the bell go off in your head that said, there's a need for a sewing school, and I'm going to start one?
Well, actually, when the schools started to eliminate them from their program, they haven't had sewing schools or sewing classes in the schools for a long time. So this fills that gap.
But how did folks find out that you were offering those classes that the schools weren't?
It was by word of mouth, and I did advertising, of course, and I worked with local sewing machine dealers that when they sold a sewing machine, they would let people know about my classes.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Now, so it's not hand sewing, or is it?
No, it's mostly by machine.
Mostly machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the kids even learn right off the bat with the sewing machine how it operates and how to put things together. And we do very little hand sewing. Our machines today can do so many different stitches that we don't have to do a lot of hand sewing.
I was afraid my finger's going to get cut as I move it through there.
No, I'll teach you how to keep your hands that way.
That's one of the classes.
Yes.
So is it a series of classes or just one day, or how does it
Some
work?
are. Usually they'll sign up for a month at a time. And
Is that 1 day a week? Or
1 day a week.
Okay.
And for the kids, it's an hour and a half long. And the adults get 2.5 hours per week. And you sign up as you want. It's once a month, you pay once a month, and you come for the month.
Now, do you do this at your home, or do you have a class?
I have a studio. Where we do part of my other business, which is alterations, and then also we have the classroom set up.
Yeah. Okay. You brought some pictures today. If we can kind of look at some of those, and maybe describe what we're looking at here.
Okay, this is the studio. And some of my students working there, making their projects.
How many can you fit in there at one time?
I can fit about 12 comfortably, yeah.
Any more than that, and you kind of lose the individual attention that you need to keep an eye on everybody?
Exactly.
Okay.
And these are some projects that my students have finished that you see here. And these are beginner students, so these are some things that they have completed.
So your students made that from scratch?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they started with a pattern, they chose their fabric, and completed the project.
Is it just for the personal satisfaction? I mean, it's so easy to go to the store and buy a finished product. But
it is.
You can say, I made this. You know?
Exactly. And there's special occasions that people want to make. We have that vest there that you just saw was a creation, a collage vest. And so it's the art factor. It's the creative factor as well. It's like I said, we don't do it out of necessity anymore. You can buy clothes cheaply enough as it is. It's just the creative side.
So is it more expensive now to make it yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Because in China, they can pump out 1,000 of them.
Exactly, in no time.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, when you're wearing something that you made yourself, that's some pride in that.
It's special.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not about, getting it made cheaper any longer like it used to be.
Yeah. So what's the designer part of your business?
That is the wedding gown designs that I have done, and I mainly do alterations, wedding gown alterations now.
So and you told me that keeps you busy.
It does.
Yeah, there's always weddings.
There's always weddings all year round, and the brides very rarely fit into their dress as it's purchased. So it'll have to be taken in or let out. And as you can see here, we did some additions to the wedding dress that didn't have sleeves earlier. And so we added on the bodice. This is a dress that was many sizes too big for this little bride. And so we changed that in to fit her, as you see there. So these are just some of the things. A lot of my business is doing custom work for the brides. They'll buy their dress, but they want to make it their own, and so that's when they come to me to do that. This one has her name embroidered on the back.
Oh, really?
Her new wedding name. And so we do embroidery to add special touches to the wedding dresses as they want.
It's nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
And I can actually, with my embroidery, make lace that I can add to dresses, so that if we have to cover up a seam that we had to let out, we can embellish it with some
Tricks of the
extra
trade.
lace. Yes, yes. It works great.
So what is your background? How did you get into this?
I actually have been sewing since I was 5 years old, pretty much self-taught. I've taken different classes and workshops over the years to keep up with what's changing, but pretty much self-taught.
Okay. We're pretty much in holiday season right now, so
Yes.
Does that affect your business at all?
Actually, the wedding side has slowed down. Not too many weddings during the holidays, and that'll start to pick up after the first of the year again. And as far as classes are still going. People want to make projects for Christmas and that sort of thing. So
Okay.
yeah,
Can people
working.
join those classes anytime?
Anytime, yes. I have a website, and they can check for classes on the website. I do an email about once a month to keep them updated on what's going on there at the sewing school.
Okay.
So,
I think, we're showing the web address there on the screen.
oh, okay, good.
Well, Shirley, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Happy holidays and
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
A little
you.
early.
Yes.
All right, Shirley Gambero, designer, dressmaker, sewing instructor, right here on Central Valley Talk.